Words are inadequate to describe the pain in this Amish community as they bury 4 young girls murdered by a 32-year-old father. But amazingly, this community hopes to forgive the killer as they grieve. Joining us live from Pennsylvania is Reverend Robert Schenck, who met with the families of the victims as they prepared to bury their children. Reverend, welcome, and tomorrow I guess they have the 5th funeral. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Reverend,
yes, that will be the final funeral.
Reverend, any reason why that funeral is a day later than the other 4?
I understand it's because it's a different district, and it has to do with the workings of the church in the churches in the different districts here. So I think it's just a technical timing.
Reverend, we understand that some in the community feel they could be the target again. Have you heard that at all?
Well, I have, and it has to do with this message of forgiveness, which actually has been the most powerful message that's been played out here, very dramatically. But what the Amish are afraid of is that because that message has traveled so far, that there may be some who feel that they could take advantage and maybe harm this community further. I don't think so, and I told the Amish leaders that. We talked a lot about forgiveness because it's really at the core of who the Amish are.
Reverend, on Tuesday you met with the Roberts family. Charles Roberts, of course, is the man who killed these young girls and killed himself. We were just told a minute ago by one of our guests that the grandfather of one of the victims went over to express forgiveness. You talk about the power of forgiveness among the Amish. When you met with the Roberts family on Tuesday, what was it like?
Well, of course, these people were in deep pain, but what ameliorated that pain was this tremendously generous offer of forgiveness from the Amish community and from the families of the victims themselves. And here's how one Amish leader explained that to me. He said, "At the heart of our culture is the gift of forgiveness. We believe God has forgiven us of our sins in the work of Christ on the cross, and because we have received that, we can share it with others. But a gift that is given must be received in order to be enjoyed." And they feel that because they have received that gift from God, they can share it with the Roberts. And I watched the Roberts receive that gift, which was very powerful because not everyone in their circumstance would do that. Some people out of shame or guilt might refuse such a gift, but they accepted it. And now the Amish are telling me the Roberts can pass that along to others. And that cycle of healing, that circle of healing, will go on in the community and help the whole community to be whole again. So it was a very beautiful, almost like one great illustrated sermon.
It's extraordinary. And then today, or at least you attended the wake of Marion Fisher, who was 13, and when apparently her grandfather was there speaking to her siblings. Is that right, sir?
Yes, he actually stood at the foot of his own granddaughter's open coffin, and there this little 13-year-old girl lay with her wounds very obvious, and he was talking with the children. He's the sort of patriarch. In fact, he's an Amish bishop. He's a revered leader in the community. And he was talking to the children in their German dialect and then made a point of speaking to those of us who were not Amish and explaining how important it is for them to teach their children not to think evil of the man who did this. And when I saw that, that will be one of the most memorable images for the rest of my life.
Reverend, thank you, sir, and I think that we can all learn an awful lot from the way this community is dealing with this horrible, horrible crime and horrible tragedy and loss. Thank you, Reverend.